So these are some of the havoc. So this guys here, they are dealing with soft material and they went to the dam to tip, and look at what has happened to them. They've toppled. And I'm even wondering why they are two following each other like that. Does that mean when the other fell, the other did not see or what? And they have both toppled over like. And we have this other truck, but then there's a failure along this section. This boulder, this is a typical example of a boulder. It has toppled over from the top and it has come to hit a truck. So these are things we don't want to have. And again, this is a typical example of the zigzag haul road system we kept talking about. So benching. So the benching, this is also one of the listen. So it says bench level intervals are to a large measure determines the type of shovel. So just like we said, so if I am deciding that my bench, each bench is going to be 3 meters, then it means I know that my excavator's boom, the boom of the excavator will be able to fetch when it stands on the bench and the truck is below. It will be able to fetch the material and feed the truck very well, load the truck very well for efficient production. So again, I talked about terrace mining. Terrace mining, I said the terrace mining is also another type of open pit mine, or let's say it is part of the mechanical excavation type of surface mining. But then this time around, this type of material, it's like you having a flat-lying deposit or slightly inclined, but then the overburden is very thick to understand that you can't take it all at a go and get access to your mineral of interest. And so you step it and make it in the form of a bench, which we saw images of that after we introduced the types of mechanical mining and then aqueous mining methods. So that is what this, so it says a multi-bench sideways. So I form a bench whilst one section is taking the overburden material. Once it is exposed, another person or another machinery somewhere will start taking the mineral of interest. And that is what terrace mining is about. Strip mining, I explained earlier that it is used for flat-lying minerals that are more or less laterally continuous. Laterally continuous means it's just, they are in layers, just like you would have biscuits in its sachet, flat-lying, well stratified. And so when it is like that, then you can stripping, because it is the ore body is uniform across the surface you want to do the mining. You begin to strip along the entire, if you are doing it at the entire area, before you come and take the mineral of interest, we say you are doing area stripping. And when you strip along the contours of the area, we say you are doing contour stripping. And these are all forms of mining that are done using the mechanical methods. So this one like this. So this particular one we have here, or this one, or that, all of them can be said to be which type of mining? Who can help? Yes. So 1, 2, 3. Who can help us with them? Any ideas? We just discussed them. What type of mining method do you think they are doing there? Can you hear me? I am on slide 72. That is, if you can't see from my, this is slide 72, if you have the slide. Slide 72. Okay, let's go on, because once it knocks off, we have to close. So we have so much to cover. So this one is a terrace mining. Terrace mining. Why? Because the deposit is a bit inclined. It's inclined, okay? And then the overburden is too thick and it's kind of in layers. So with this kind of challenge, you have to do it in a form of bench, which will look like an open pit, what's the name? An open pit mine, but you realize the whole area is going to be flat. After you have finished mining, you are going to get a flat area. But then in open pit, a typical open pit mine, you would have a funnel shape. But looking at this, you are not going to have anything like a funnel shape. It's a strip mining, but this type of mining is called terrace mining because we are doing it in benches. Then we have this strip mining. So this can also be a typical example of a terrace mining, but it's a strip. Stripping here is because we are taking the top cover, which do not contain our mineral, or which is the waste. In other words, our spoil or overburden. So we are taking this waste out, and after it is taken, so it says that the ore is close to the surface of the land by 30 meters, but has one or more layers of rock and dirt on top of it. To mine the ore, these layers have to be taken off. This mining is done in long, narrow strip. When the ore is done in one strip, the miners begin to create another strip next to it. So they are just telling us how we undertake this kind of exercise to get the mineral of interest. So strip mining involves large-scale continuous buckets. So let's have a look at some of these videos and admire how our mining engineers come up with some of these. The kind of machinery used when we are talking about, what is the name? YouTube. The way this network has not been reliable, I think going forward in the future, I have to download these videos instead. So some of these machines, if you want to have a look at them and admire how they operate, you can visit YouTube and enter their names. So the strip mining, because the material is soft and we don't want to spend so much most of the time hauling things here and there, the machines we use can be, they are huge to an extent that sometimes they even load, once it fetches this much, for example, this particular one here, it cuts the material and dump them. Bucket fill, that is the name, bucket fill excavator. It cuts the material and dumps them inside an excavator. That what's the name? A conveyor that is in the boom of the machine. And then it pushes this material beyond to wherever we want to process them. So let me see, bucket fill excavator.
The mightiest machines on the planet. Big, mean, and invincible. Battling Mother Earth, the modern world couldn't survive without them. In this episode, we come face to face with the largest land-based machines ever built. Bucket wheel excavators.
They're enormous machine. They have a great capacity.
Their only mission is to peel back the surface of the earth with each turn of their colossal parts.
You could compare this machine to an animal because it eats the rocks.
Whilst under the beating sun, surface miners scale new heights in scooping.
It's really hard work. You get really dirty.
It's time to get behind the wheels of some dirty great machines.
Different types, dozers, loaders, trucks, etc.
Very complex systems. Sometimes even for our best technicians and engineers is difficult to understand what's going wrong.
So this is a kind of a documentary about
More
the
people
bucket
have
wheel
flown fighter
excavators.
jets than have wrangled these steel beasts. And
I think
Costas
we have another one
Siderinos
here.
is one of the most experienced drivers at the mine. His machine is an SR4000 and it defies belief. It weighs
So most of these soft material machines we use are named after how they scoop or they fetch the material. So this one is called the bucket wheel excavator. So it's kind of like the wheel, instead of the wheel revolving, they have fixed buckets with teeth along it. So as it whirls or goes round, it will be scooping the material, and when it goes up the boom, it dumps the material before it moves back again and fetches the same material. So that is how this type of machines operate. I think I even have one here. Let's admire how this one also operates. So you see how it operates. So you see the conveyor system behind it. So you can see the dump truck, the excavator at the far end doing the stripping. It takes the top material off. Then this man here will also be mining the coal. And once it does, it picks up the coal. The coal will move along these conveyors that are fixed here, and it goes through these systems and join the other conveyors to the final destination. So when you are dealing with some of these strip mining or soft mining material, usually you don't have that hurdle of buying so many trucks, because the thing itself is very huge and it can mine so much at a go. So imagine this is able to stand there for a whole day to work. It will do so much for you. So let's escape this and see if we can proceed. So those are some of the machine, and this one here is called a drag line. A drag line. This is another one. Yes, this type of machines usually do not work in hard rock mines. They usually are soft for soft material mining. So just like coal. So coal is very soft. It can just quell and scoop the material. If you see how the drag line works, you even get angry. Let me see if you can bring a drag line to Ghana to come and work in any of our mines.